Beyon Money is a one-stop shop, a place where you can find everything you need, regardless of what your age is, whatever your gender, nationality, background. It will fulfill your needs in any moment of your financial life.
Good morning, I am delighted to be here this morning with Roberto Mancone, who is the CEO and board member of Beyon Money. Beyon Money is a recently launched financial super app which offers essentially a marketplace with a wide range of financial products and services. We're here this morning, we're going to be talking a bit more about Beyon Money, learning what it's all about. So Roberto, what is the purpose of Beyon Money?
Beyon Money wants to fulfill two particular needs of clients that approach the financial services. One is the element of choice and the other one is the speed of action. Let me give you an example. Speed of action, imagine that you are at a gas station or you're in front of the line of a department store and you realize that Beyon Money can provide you a particular benefit. In 2 minutes, before you purchase whatever you have in mind, you download the app with one selfie, one ID, you have a virtual card, you reload it and off you go. You're able to spend and get cash back or any other services. So this element of speed is something that we wanted to launch in the market, extremely innovative, and it doesn't exist as well. The second element that we want to provide is the element of choice. We're not categorizing our clients. We're not trying to put them in a box, right? If you are Gen Z, Gen Y, or blue collars or white collar, we want to make sure that whoever approaches our services will find something that fulfills their needs. I call it the Netflix approach, right? So when you use any kind of services today, it doesn't matter if you like drama, if you like action movie, if you like sci-fi, you know you will find something you like. And this is exactly what we want to achieve with our app. Based on your financial needs, you will find exactly what matches your requirement. In our app, as we launch it right now, for example, the initial phase, we have the cards, we have the payments, we have the remittances solution, we have the connectivity with banks, we have personal financial insights. If your need is simply to send money abroad to India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, you can just do that, simply neglect the rest. But if you don't do that and you have several banks and you want to have a holistic overview of your spending with 3 banks, 3 cards, with our cards, in this solution you can have exactly what you need.
Now with these applications, these financial applications, as far as I'm aware, there's a lot that's on the market. What makes Beyon Money different to other applications that are out there?
We want to offer the choice and the holistic view that clients would like to have. Let me explain that. If you are using nowadays your bank, you probably have only the services offered by that bank. If you have a payment solution, most likely you are forced to use necessarily the payment solution provided by that provider. In our case, it's different. We want to have the option of choosing where the source of funds is and choose also how you want to approach the beneficiary. For example, in the remittances, the novelty will be that you can send money abroad if you want to use our card, Beyon Money card, but if for whatever reason you want to use a bank account, you can use a bank account. If we want to use any other source or credit cards, you can use a credit card. So we are not imposing our services strictly linked to our card that we issue, but we allow the freedom of choice based on what the clients are doing. Same for the recipient. Again, if you think about remittances, the clients will be able at this point to receive funds in their account, in their wallet in those countries, or even cash if they need, because every recipient probably has different elements. So the element and the optionalities is one driver. The second one, that we will evolve from a financial service provider to a marketplace, which means even products that we do not necessarily produce, but we know they're available in the market, we will make it available to the clients. They can be white label, can be branded with the original provider, but we'll have an element of choice for insurances, asset management, deposit gathering, or cryptocurrencies, everything that clients would like to have.
What steps have been taken to take this, to take Beyon Money internationally or perhaps into the GCC?
Well, two points. I mean, the first thing, for people in Bahrain, we want to have the capability to offer also connectivity with banks outside of Bahrain. As I said, we are connecting all the banks in Bahrain in our app, so you can have visibility of those. But let's face it, there are a lot of expats here that, of course, they have the bank account somewhere else in the world. Myself, I'm Italian, probably have a bank account there. So we want to make sure that we grant also the possibility to connect with banks in the countries where you come from, which of course is an additional element. And then of course we are already on the path of expanding in the GCC. The 2 key countries for us are UAE and KSA, and then after that we'll evolve beyond also in MENA region.
How do you plan to develop and evolve digital payments in Bahrain?
And it's a question. I mean, definitely we want to be in the driving seat. We want to ride the wave of technology. We want to ride the wave that the regulators have been able to create with the regulation framework. There is a lot of opportunity here in Bahrain to transform the way that we're doing digital payment today. Of course, open banking is one of the options because it will allow also alternatives to the traditional card payments by creating the payment information service provider, the so-called PISP license. But then if you think for a second beyond that, there's a lot of evolution in a new method of payment. You hear about the stable coins, you hear about the central bank digital currency, and our central bank here, of course, is heavily involved in this kind of discussions, not only Central Bank of Bahrain, but there are almost 23 central banks in the world that are focusing on CBDC. If you ask me how could be the evolution of digital payment here, I see an evolution that from the traditional method of payments, bank to bank, card to card, card to wallet, into probably stable coins to stable coins. And that's something that we need to be on top of it in order to make sure that if this is perceived as a valid solution to lower the cost to serve for the clients and create less friction in the current system of payment, which is not perfect yet, definitely we want to be there.
The financial industry is an industry that's just changing far more than we could have ever predicted. Are there any changes? I mean, what we're seeing today, we couldn't have predicted perhaps 5 years ago. No. Are there any changes or anything that you predict is going to happen that maybe other people don't see coming in how we spend or in the financial industry in general?
I think you need to create the demand, right? I mean, if you ask yourself when the smartphone was created, were people knew exactly where we would have been today, that was probably unimaginable, right? And that's why I say, if you ask me 5 years from now where we want to be, I could probably give you an element to ask ourselves, where was Netflix, for example, 5 years after they start delivering DVDs and then they eliminated Blockbuster? Where was Amazon 5 years after they start simply by selling books and they eliminated borders? So where are we going to be 5 years from now? I cannot tell you now who's going to be the winner and who's going to be the loser, but for sure things will be dramatically different. And this is the result of technological change, the result also of a demographic change, right? The new generation are born in a technological savvy, a digital market, so you can only imagine that they will ask for something that doesn't exist, and we need to create that kind of demand.